Hi, welcome back to yoga. Today's Friday, it's 1 p.m. I might be a couple minutes late, so we'll give you a few minutes to come on aboard. All right, so what I've been bringing lately is a little bit of yoga trivia so that we're not just waiting here for that few minutes. So today, we're going to bring in 3 things the body loses with age. What are the 3 things that the body loses with age? Hi, Helen. So the 3 things that the body loses with age is first posture. So our posture tends to start slouching forward and we start rounding the shoulders. So in order to check our posture, a good one is to stand against the wall. If you find yourself at a wall where it's completely clear, your glutes should be able to touch, and then you have to lengthen the back, press the shoulders back into the wall, lengthen up through the neck and the head, and try to keep the head still facing forward, as the back of the head should also touch the wall. So your shoulders should touch the wall, the back of the head, and your glutes. That's a good way to test our posture. So not all of us are going to have that perfect posture where we can touch, but we could always work on it and notice that maybe our shoulders don't touch the back of the wall, or maybe our head doesn't and we're looking or tilting upward. So if that's the case, we need to be more aware of our shoulders and just roll them back. Okay, so first was posture. Second is pelvic mobility. This is the SI joint. It's our pelvis. It's our mobility of moving side to side, forward, back. So think of hula hooping. These are very good exercises for the pelvic mobility. It would be hula hooping, or simply hip circles and hip side to side. The next thing that our body loses with age is muscle strength. So usually we lose a little bit of muscle strength in our arms especially, and also our pelvic floor. So I teach a lot about our pelvic floor in this class. Hi, Helen. And strengthening the pelvic floor so that we can have, let's see where I went. Strengthening the pelvic floor, because as we get older, we have bladder control issues maybe, or maybe, there was one other issue, intestines, our organs that start loosening because that pelvic floor is not tight. So those are the 3 things that we lose with age. We can gain that back through yoga. And it looks like it's been a few minutes, so we're going to go ahead and get started with some of this. All right, let's get started. Find yourself a comfortable seat. Sorry, today I don't really have music because my battery ran out. So to start off today, we're going to start with the shoulders. Let's sit. First, let's find a comfortable seat. And as we find a comfortable seat, I want you to try something new. Let's bring our palms face up, rock side to side, and stick our hands under our glutes. So here we have our hands under the glutes. Our feet are flat, and we should feel a bone. You should feel a bone when you sit right on top of the hands. So let's roll the shoulders back, lengthen through the torso here. And as we have, you should feel the bones, your sit bones that you're sitting on the chair. And if you don't, maybe you're a little bit rounded. So maybe try rounding for a moment. So if you feel those hip bones, those sitting bones, we're gonna go ahead and exhale, tuck in the abs, round like you would for cat. And notice when we round, you don't feel those sit bones anymore. They have moved. So this is slouching. Let's go ahead and inhale and lengthen back up. You should feel those sit bones rotate to pressing back down into your fingertips and hands. Let's go ahead and exhale again. It's more of a cat posture here. We'll go ahead and tuck in the abs and contract, roll the shoulders forward, and we're just noticing the sit bones, where they're at, and then we roll back up, lengthening through the spine. So we should always be able to feel those sit bones. Notice that they press down into the chair. From here, let's go ahead and grab a hold of the knees. We're going to continue with the spine. So hip width distance apart, knees right above our ankles, toes point straight forward. Take a nice deep breath here. Inhale, roll the shoulders back. And as we exhale, we're going to tuck the abs in, compress the abs towards the spine, chin into chest, and round into that cat pose. And here we have an option for cow. We're going to just roll the shoulders back, bring the hands back up the legs, lengthen through the spine, lengthen the eyes up, lengthen the heart, expanding, roll the shoulders back. Now, if this is not good for your neck, you could always look straight forward and still roll back and still lift through the heart and the chest. Let's go ahead and come back to our cat, exhaling into cat. And let's inhale back into our cow. We're gonna lengthen, draw the hands back, lift through the heart, draw the shoulders back and down, lifting through the gaze if you can. Let's exhale again back into our cat pose. And this time for the second option for cow, I'm going to keep my hands on my knees, but I'm going to lengthen the back, flattening the back like a board, rolling the shoulders back, and then taking the heart and pressing forward as my arms, shoulders, and elbows roll down and back, squeezing towards the midline, and I'm again lifting my gaze. If we have difficulty with that gaze, we could always just keep the neck elongated. Let's go ahead and exhale back into cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And let's exhale, just lengthen through the spine. So we've warmed up the back just a little bit. Let's bring our hands to our shoulders. And we're going to start with shoulder rolls. So let's start with moving forward. Elbows extending, we move forward down. Let's try to inhale as we squeeze back and up, and exhale as we bring it forward and down. To add to this, we're breathing in and out of the nose, and also if you can make that tongue connection just by bringing the tongue to the roof of the mouth, or just the tip of the tongue to right behind the front teeth, and that will make that full connection. All right, we're gonna move the opposite direction. So let's bring the elbows forward up and all the way squeezing back and down. And let's go ahead and inhale as we squeeze back and down. So we've switched the breath. We're rolling forward on an exhale, and let's inhale, expand. Rolling the elbows down, exhale as we roll it back up. Inhale as we expand through the shoulders, the heart, and exhale, let's release the arms all the way down. While we have the feet grounded, let's go ahead, since I've talked about the pelvic floor today, let's go ahead and use a ball or a block, and we're just going to put it between those inner thighs. So whenever that we're squeezing those inner thigh muscles, we are engaging our pelvic floor muscles and drawing in and up. This will help with our bladder and other things, our organs from prolapsing. So go ahead and squeeze those inner thighs with a block or a ball, rolling the shoulders back. Let's bring one hand to one hip, inhale. Bring that other hand all the way up, and exhale, release. Inhale, lengthen all the way up. And exhale, release. The other hand can always come to the quad if that's more comfortable than bringing it to your hip. Inhale. And this time as we release, exhale, palm faces down, elbow out to our side. Let's look over the opposite direction. Inhale, back forward. And let's go ahead and bring that down. Inhale, let's lengthen up. Exhale, bring that palm facing down, elbow shoulder alignment, and look over the opposite shoulder. And bring it back. This time we're going to take the hand right on top of the shoulder. Hand can be on the hip or the leg, or even let's grab a hold of that chair. We're going to hinge at the elbow when we squeeze over to that side. So let's just inhale, draw the elbow down, exhale, lift that elbow up, and let yourself come over to the side for a little bit of lateral flexion. Inhale, draw that elbow all the way down and maybe even squeeze our hip here, moving it closer to the elbow. And exhale, let's lift all the way up, over to the side for lateral flexion. Inhale, let's bring it back to that hip. Exhale. And now at this one, we're going to start to release that arm all the way over to that side if you can, if it feels good for you today. Let's go ahead and just release and relax that arm. Once again, hand can be on the hip, hand can be on the quads, or even down at the chair. Let's go ahead and inhale, lengthen that opposite arm up, stretching up, exhale, release down. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, release down. Inhale, lengthen up. And this time, let's exhale, palm faces down, bend the elbow, let it come out to that side, and we're going to look over the opposite shoulder. Bring the head gaze back forward, release the arm. Let's inhale, lengthen back up. Exhale, bend the elbow, looking over that opposite shoulder. Bring the head back, release the arm down. Let's inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, bring the hand all the way to the shoulder this time. Now the hand from the quad can now come under the chair. We could soften, bend that elbow, or the hand can come to the hip. We're gonna inhale as we draw that elbow down to the rib cage and hip. And as we exhale, let's move into our lateral flexion, lifting up that elbow. And let's inhale all the way down towards the hip. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Go ahead and inhale. And exhale. And with this one, we're going to release that arm, stretch all the way over to that side. Nice deep breaths here. And let's exhale, release that. Maybe those inner thighs are shaking by now, just trying to hold on to that ball or block that we had. Let's give it a rest for a moment as we still have the soles of the feet nice and grounded here. Let's grab a hold of the knees, let the shoulders roll back, lengthen through the back, so the only thing that's hinging here are our hips. Inhale here, let's exhale and draw the heart forward, down, roll those shoulders back, elbows even come back to the rib cage, and just keep a nice lengthen back. Let's go ahead and inhale, lengthen back up. And exhale, hinge forward at the hips. Inhale, lengthening up. And exhale, hinge forward at the hips, let the heart lead. Inhale, lengthen up. And let's exhale, go ahead and open up through the legs. So I'm heel toeing all the way open. I'm still wanting to be secure and comfortable on my seat. So if I need to move around, then we'll move around to make sure that we're stable and comfortable. Knees are right above our ankles. We're checking in. Those toes point the same direction as our knees. Let's go ahead and take another deep breath. As we were hinging forward, we're going to continue this. So exhale, let's hinge forward, heart leads. Remember, it's up to you how far you take it. So right now, we're lengthening through the back. We have a nice flat back, and we're just hinging forward down from the hips, letting the heart lead. We're keeping length in the neck, and we press through our soles of the feet. So our legs, once again, are engaged. We're pressing down. We're tightening these muscles. We're hinging at the hips. Elbows can soften and bend. We can even use arms to help us back up. Now we're going to take that to a side. So this time I'm going to use a hand, and we're going to stretch to that side as the heart center comes to that knee or close to it. Stretching out to the side. Let's bring it back on an inhale. And then exhale, we're going to stretch over to the side like we're trying to reach for something off a countertop. Inhale, let's bring it back. So we want to keep that stretching so we can still reach Still reach and grab that pencil off that countertop and bring it back. Let's go ahead and exhale again, reaching. Heart center comes as close to the knee as we can get it. And let's bring it back. We have one more set. Inhale, let's reach it this time. Let's hold it. And we're not holding the breath, we're just holding the position as we breathe. So we're still able to breathe as we move into that stretching position. We're gonna do it to the other side. So stretch over to that other side and continue to breathe in and out of the nose. It's important that we can breathe as we move, as we hinge and bend and lengthen. And let's go ahead and draw that all the way back up to center. Let's inhale, lengthen those arms all the way up. Palms are going to be face forward. Let's exhale, hinge at the elbows, draw all the way down to the rib cage and even press into the rib cage as much as we can. Let's inhale. Keep the glutes on the chair and the abs tucked in towards the spine and the feet pressed into the floor. Let's exhale, hinge at those elbows, draw all the way into the rib cage, palms still face forward. Shoulders are now rolling back and down. Let's inhale, lengthen back up, and exhale, moonflower. Now we're going to move into our sunflowers. So let's inhale, lengthen up. Remember, sunflower is just a nice big circle with the arms all the way down here. You hinge slightly at the elbows and then inhale, lengthen all the way up. Now if you want to add an option to this, option to hinge at the hips, keep that flat back, still the same thing as we round through with the hands, making that complete circle and draw all the way back up. Our back stays lengthened here. So in this option, when we hinge forward, we have a nice flat back. We don't round the back, we only round through the arms as we make that circle for the sunflower. Let's inhale and lengthen all the way back up. And again, exhale. So remember, that was just an option. You can keep your back lengthened, sitting straight up as we do this. Let's inhale, lengthen up. And as we're here, let's exhale and come into a twist. Twisting at the waist, our hips are stable because we're pressing into the floor and our legs are fairly open. So our hips are straight forward as we twist through the body, one arm forward, one arm back, and then we're going to come back forward and center. Let's go ahead and twist to the other side. The option here on our twist is your head, whether it looks forward, looks to the side, or looks all the way back. We're still breathing in and out of the nose here. Let's draw our hands up and over and exhale to the other side. We're going to start using the breath here. So we had a couple of breaths on each side. Now we're inhaling, drawing up, and exhaling, twisting. Inhale, let's draw it up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, draw it up. And exhale, twist. And inhale, let's lengthen up through center. And exhale all the way back down. So as we come back down, let's roll through the shoulders again, checking in with our feet, our legs. They're still firmly planted into the ground. Let's press the soles of the feet into the ground and start to lift both heels up. Starting to maybe feel a little bit of stretch, a little bit of length here in the calf muscles around the shins, maybe around our foot, our ankle. Let's go ahead and press it back down. Now, as we bring the heels back down, let's just bring the toes up. So the foot, the ball of the foot to the heel is grounded, and our toes are moving up like fingers and spreading. And let's go ahead and press back down. Let's lift the heels back up. Keep length in the torso, tight abs here. Let's exhale, press the heels back down, lift just our toes here. Let's take another breath while our toes are lifted. And let's exhale, press the toes down, and let's just lift one heel. And then we're going to release that heel. Let's lift the opposite heel and release that heel, moving back and forth now. So we're just lifting one heel at a time, pressing down into the ground, then lifting the other heel. Just remember to try and roll the shoulders back, keep the core tight here as we rock side to side with a gentle rocking, lifting our heel. One more time with that opposite heel, and let's press down. Let's go ahead and roll through the shoulders all the way back and down. We're going to take the hands and let's bring them back and towards the bottom of the chair so that we're squeezing the scapulas or our shoulder blades back together towards our midline, and our shoulders are rolling down. So we have a tendency to feel the heart open and lift here. This also opens and lifts depression right off the chest. So this helps with depression and anxiety when we feel like we need to protect the heart or we don't feel too happy or good. Rolling the shoulders back and really opening and expanding through the lungs, through the heart will help that. Let's go ahead and start to extend all the way through the toes. My toes are pointed today as we lengthen into our straddle. Let's go ahead and dorsiflex the foot so the toes are up towards the ceiling now. We're still following that breath. We still have a tight core, and now our legs just might be shaking because we're holding them out, we're extending. And let's slowly start to bring that back into hip width distance apart. So I had dorsiflexed feet, toes are up towards the sky, and I'm going to inhale and open back up to that straddle. Let's point the toes away. So we have plantar flexion, and we're going to exhale again and draw it back to hip width distance apart, keeping pointed toes, plantar flexion. And let's inhale and lengthen back out to straddle. Go ahead and dorsiflex the feet. And let's slowly bring the feet all the way back down. Check the alignment, knee, ankle, toes point the same direction as our knees point. Take a nice few deep breaths here. We're gonna open the arms to cactus. So here we have our joint alignment, shoulder to elbow, palms face forward. Let's inhale and draw the elbows back as far as we can. And exhale, bring the palms together, zip down to the elbows. Keep the elbows lifted up off the chest or the body. And then let's inhale and open it back up. Expanding through. Exhale, let's bring it back. Palms touch all the way to the elbows, pressing those forearms together. And inhale, let's lengthen back. Feel the expansion as we inhale. Exhale, drawing it back forward, zipping down to the elbows. Inhale, let's open up. And let's exhale, just allow those hands, fingertips to point down. So now we feel the shoulders roll forward. And this is probably our usual position if we're sitting at a desk typing, or sitting in a chair, or sitting in a car for long extended periods of time. Let's go ahead and open it back up. So now we know that when we open and we've been sitting for a long time with those shoulders rounded forward, that's how it might feel, that this is a good exercise to open up through the shoulders. Another one is, while you have the stop sign hand, you can put it right at a door, right when you walk through the door. Let the body walk through the door and the arm stays right on that edge of the door, and then it opens up through the shoulder and the chest again. Let's go ahead and exhale. Palms come back together, zip down to the elbows. Let's inhale, open back up. And exhale, release the arms all the way. Let's go ahead and take our legs, heel toe, moving back into hip width distance apart here. And even move side to side for a moment, getting the legs and everything back into our hip width distance apart. Let's inhale, sit up nice and tall, bring one arm up and the opposite leg. So whichever arm you chose to bring up, the opposite leg lengthens and dorsiflex. Let's go ahead and release that. Inhale, the opposite arm comes up and the opposite leg comes up, and the toes reach up towards the ceiling as we tighten through this leg and lengthen. Go ahead and exhale, release. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, release. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, release. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, release. We're going to add to this. Let's inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, release. So how we're going to add to this is we're going to bring both arms. Inhale, lengthen up. And let's exhale, twist the same direction that the leg is extended. So you're twisting and opening to that direction. Then we're going to inhale, lengthen forward up, and exhale, release back down. Let's move on to the next leg. Inhale, lengthening up. Exhale, twist the same direction as the leg is lengthened. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Twist open. Inhale. And exhale. One more set. Inhale. Exhale. Open. Inhale. Lengthen up. Exhale. Release. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Open or twist. Inhale. Lengthen up. And exhale. Release down. Okay, ground through the feet again. Let's inhale, lengthen through that flat back. Exhale, let's hinge forward. And then while we have that length in the back, nice flat back, let's take our hands, draw them back into our airplane. So palms face the floor. We're reaching back through the fingertips here, extending our arms towards a back wall. And we're still breathing. Now, for those of us that can round, you can release the hands. For those of us who are not rounding the back here, we can keep the hands here and just lengthen through the back, or we can relax the arms to the side. Those of us who want to round, we can relax all the way forward into our forward fold, where we let go of the arms, we let go of the head. Now, while we're here and our head is relaxed, our neck is relaxed, you can start to say yes. Or you can shake the head no. Or you can even just look to one side, then the other side. And you can just move the head, maybe ear, shoulder to ear, shoulder. Whatever feels good for the head and neck in this position. When you're ready, let's bring the palms back up. Let's inhale, lengthen back to that flat back. So those of us in flat back, hopefully, did the same thing and let go of the head and the neck. And we're going to press all the way back up. Let's inhale, lengthen all the way up and over. And exhale, palms together, hands to heart. All right, so we're going to take our one leg, pick whichever leg, and you're going to draw it slightly in. So it was a hip width distance apart. I'm drawing it in towards the midline now. So now my head, heart tries to line up with that knee, because I'm going to take that other leg and I'm going to try to cross it. Now, if my knees cannot or my legs cannot cross like this, we can always extend the legs and still cross the legs. There's still one leg will still move over the other leg, maybe only at the ankles and toes there, but you can still do it even if the legs are elongated. So coming to that center where the knees start to come on top of each other, we're just going to sit nice and tall. We're starting to feel that stretch, especially through the glutes and the IT band, which is the side here of some myofascial tissue in muscles and tendons here in the side of the leg, especially those of us maybe that have sciatica nerve that pinches off. So this is a good one here to stretch, try to lengthen. Take a nice deep breath. We're going to take opposite hand to the knee that is crossed on top, and we're going to bring it to that lateral side and just sweep that other hand behind us and help twist as we keep the torso lengthened. We're opening up through the shoulders, through the waist. One more breath here. All right, coming back forward. So whichever leg is on top, whether they're extended or we're able to sit, whichever leg is on top, we're going to take the opposite arm. That arm's going to extend and come underneath the other arm, which we're crossing right at the elbows like an X. Now, an option is to just, once you cross, you're just bringing the hands to the shoulders, sitting nice and tall. We're moving into our eagle's pose. So this is one of the options in our eagle's pose. The next option is hinging at the elbows and palms face away, but we're reaching now fingertips up towards the ceiling. Another option is to bring the palms close together. They face each other now, and we're reaching still for the ceiling, and we're lifting the elbows slightly off the chest. Engage the abs to lengthen the torso. Feel grounded in the foot and in the glutes here. Finding the breath. All right, let's exhale. So instead of coming all the way out of it, let's come to that first option where we're hugging our shoulders here. Try to roll the shoulders back, lengthen through the torso, and we're going to twist the shoulders, the chest, and at the waist to one direction as we exhale, like we're wringing the body out. Let's inhale, coming forward, and exhale, twist, wringing the body out the opposite direction. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twisting. And last one, as we inhale through center, let's exhale and twist that opposite direction. Coming back. All right, from here, let's go ahead and release the hands onto the knees. Let's take a nice deep breath here. And we're gonna exhale again, hinging at the hips, legs still crossed, and we're drawing that heart forward. Now, if we have any back injuries, we're gonna want to keep the nice flat back. Although you can hang on to the legs, you can release the arms. Those of us who feel like we can do more with back rounding and it feels good to you, let's go ahead and exhale and release over the bent knees, the lap, and just completely let go and let the back round. Just check in with the body that this is not hurting your body. And taking nice deep breaths. Now let's go ahead and start to lengthen back up. As we lengthen back up, let's release that leg that's been crossed. As we release the leg, adjust yourself, roll the shoulders back, hang on to the back bottom of the chair, and let's lengthen the legs straight out and open them up to about shoulder width distance apart. Let's rotate through the feet. So we're making ankle circles here, or foot circles, as we rotate all the way through the foot, all the way through the ankle. And now we're going to rotate the opposite direction. And let's go ahead and release. So remember which leg was over the other. So remember the first option is just elongate the leg and cross at the ankles or the feet. This will do just fine. Or take that opposite leg and bring it to center and bring the other leg on top, crossing, sitting comfortable in the chair, sitting up. Remember head, heart, center, right where the knees are, and the toes still point forward. So we're sitting nice and tall and just rolling the shoulders back, engaging our abs here, and we start to feel a stretch through the side, through our quads, through the IT band, the myofascial tissue, all the muscles that are there, and we're relaxing the shoulders. All right, from there, we're gonna move back in to our eagle's pose. So once again, palms face up, arms are extended. And remember the leg that is on top or that is crossed, so the ankle or foot that is on top or crossed over the other, it's the opposite arm that's going to extend and be underneath the other arm. And then once you cross at the elbows, we're hinging at the elbows, and either first option once again is hinging at the elbows, grabbing the shoulders and still engaging those abs and lifting tall, using all those postural muscles as we lift and lengthen through the crown of the head. The other option is palms face away, hinge at the elbows, lift the elbows off the chest, fingertips point upward towards the sky. The other option is palms face each other, still hinging at the elbows, still lifting up, and fingertips reaching towards the sky as palms also try to reach each other. Let's take a few deep breaths here. One more breath. And let's exhale, start to release that. So remember, as we release, we are coming back to hands on shoulders to our first option. We're letting those shoulders roll back and down. We engage the core, we're lifting tall. We're gonna exhale, twist through the body like we're wringing out a cloth. And we're gonna inhale through center, exhale, wringing yourself out right at the waist, squeezing. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhaling, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. And exhale, twist. Inhale, center. This is our last one. And exhale, twist. Let's inhale back to center. And let's release those arms all the way down. So remember, we're going to inhale, lengthen through the back here. And let's exhale, draw heart to the knee. So as we keep a lengthened back, we can always just keep it right here. You can release the arms. You can have them interlaced. Rolling the shoulders back. We're hinging at the hips. The second option here is to completely let go and release and round all the way through the back. So just remember to check in with your body to see which one is most comfortable for you at this time. And let's go ahead and gently exhale. We're coming back out of that. We're going to release that leg. And once again, as we release the legs back to hip width distance apart, let's extend through the knees and legs and rotate through the feet. Try and roll those shoulders back and lengthen back tall through our posture muscles by connecting and keeping those abs tight. Let's go ahead and rotate the opposite direction with the feet. And release. So as we release, we're going to come back and bring hopefully a belt, a towel, something that we can use for an extension. We're going to bring it right underneath our foot. So when you bring the belt or towel underneath the foot, make sure it's the ball of the foot. The other leg is nice and stable. We're going to extend. Try to keep the back lengthened here, and this is why we have the belt, so we don't have to reach the toes. And that leg is extending here. We have the toes up towards the ceiling. We're just taking nice deep breaths. On the next breath, let's inhale and draw the shoulders up to the ears. And let's exhale, release. Again, let's inhale, draw the shoulders up to the ears. And exhale, release. Feeling a little bit of stretch in the hamstring. Let's inhale, shoulders up to the ears. And exhale, release. As we release, let's take the belt or the towel, whatever you've improvised with, and maybe if you could twist it around the hand, that would be great. If not, hang on. Bring that other hand right down. We're going to bend that elbow slightly, lift that leg a little bit higher as if we're trying to cross now over the other leg. Now for this one, we're making sure that our whole body didn't cross and do that. We want to keep stable in our hips and in our glutes, and we're stretching through the side leg. So it may not go very far. It's not expected to sweep all the way across your body. So we're just opening through these muscles on the side here, opening through the hip, and let's go ahead and release that. So as we release that, we are going to move to the other hand. So take a break for a moment, take a nice deep breath, find stability in the glutes and in the soles of the feet as we extend back out through that same leg, and we're going to give it to the same hand as that leg here. The other hand could come to the quad. We're going to inhale and open up for that straddle where we feel the stretch now on the inside of our leg. Let's exhale and bring it back to center. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, center. And as we center, we contract. Inhale, open up. Feeling the expansion. Exhale, contract that midline as we move the leg back. So we're both contracting our inner thigh and our core. Let's inhale, open up. And exhale, bring it back. Inhale, open up. And exhale, bring it back. We did 5 on that side, so let's release that. Let's bring the belt across our legs for just a moment. We want to give our hands a break, especially if we're really gripping and squeezing. So let's roll those shoulders back and let's grip our hands, let's squeeze our hands into fists, and then open back up. Try to spread wide through the palms, through the fingertips, and let's squeeze back again, making a fist. Remember, the shoulders rolled back, our core is tight and lengthened. And let's open up the hands again. Exhale, let's squeeze fists. And inhale, open the hands. As we have the hands open, let's bring them to the side, extend through the arms, and let's start rotating through the wrists. Pretty soon it's going to start rotating through the elbows. And then let's allow the shoulders maybe to move a little bit with this. So now we're rotating, wrists, hands are wide, palms are open, fingers extended. We're just rotating here. And let's move it the opposite direction now. So whichever direction we were moving or rolling the wrists, the arms, the shoulders, we're moving the other direction. All right, let's go ahead and just start with the wrists again. Arms are close to our sides, slightly extended out a little bit to the side. And let's go ahead and inhale, lengthen all the way up. Exhale, palms together, hands to heart. Let's interlace the fingers and extend straight out. Palms face away from us, shoulders roll back and down. Take a nice deep inhale, and this time as we exhale, flip the palms, exhale all the way back to heart center. Inhale out, exhale, heart. Inhale out, exhale, heart. Inhale out, exhale. This time let's start to bring it overhead. Try and bring the palms facing the ceiling. Shoulders are still rolled into the sockets here, so we feel nice and firm with the shoulders into the sockets as we lengthen through our arms. Nice deep breaths, the core is tight. And let's exhale, release. Releasing all the way down. All right, we're gonna move on to our other leg now. Hopefully that gave our hands a little bit of a break here. Coming to the other leg, bringing that rope or towel or whatever you have. Keep that other foot grounded, and we're going to extend through the other leg, toes lift up towards the ceiling. Let's just take a nice few deep breaths. Check in with our posture. The one leg should be grounded, knee ankle alignment, toes point forward. The other leg is extended, toes point up. Our shoulders are rolled back and down. We're lifting through the heart. Our abs are tucked in, so we have length and posture here. And then we're just going to draw the shoulders up to the ears, maybe even slightly bend the elbows as we inhale, lifts the leg, and exhale, we're releasing. Inhale, lift the leg. And it's just a slight lift. It's just lifting with the shoulders. Exhale, releasing. Let's inhale, lift. Shoulders to the ears. Exhale, release. All right, opposite hand to the leg that is extended. We're going to either wrap the hand with the belt if we have an extension long enough, or we're just going to grab a hold of that towel, whatever you have. The other hand comes down to the seat. And remember, we're not moving our glutes or our hips. It's just that leg and inside that joint. So let's start to soften, bend that elbow, lift up on that leg again, and then move it over to the side as much as you can, as if you want to cross it over the other leg. For some of us, our leg might really move quite a bit, and for some of us, it doesn't move very much. And that's fine, because this is all about trying to lengthen through our side leg here, get those muscles warmed up, and even our SI joint, our hips, our pelvis. And that's why we're stabilizing in the pelvis, and we're just moving at that leg joint. Let's go ahead and start to release. We're going to keep the extension, and we're just going to give it to the other hand. So now it's same leg, the same hand. For our straddles, you can wrap it. You can bring the hand down on top of the quad. Remember, we're sitting nice and tall. You can also bring the hand to the side and hang onto the chair, whatever makes you feel comfortable. Keeping tight core here. Let's inhale and open up to that straddle. And let's exhale, back to center. Inhale, open straddle. Exhale, center. Inhale, open straddle. Exhale, center. We have two more. Inhale, open straddle. Exhale, center. Inhale, open straddle. And exhale, center. Let's go ahead and release that leg. Hands might be a little bit tight. Let's go ahead and press down through the soles of the feet. Find that hip width distance apart. And let's just roll, keeping a fist this time. We're rolling through the wrists. The elbows might move a little bit. And then we're going to roll the opposite way, keeping a fist, rolling through the wrists. And release. Okay, so usually we do a hinge forward for our chair and we just barely lift our glutes. Today, let's sit back all the way into the seat. Let's find our hip width distance apart, knees stacked right above our ankles, toes point forward. And we're gonna go ahead and inhale, reach forward, draw up. Exhale, let's bring our palms together, hands heart center, and sit back down. So make sure that seat's back there. Make sure that you didn't go very far. That's why we sit all the way back in the chair, so that when we come up, we can still have that chair really close to us. Let's go ahead and reach forward. Inhale, lengthen all the way up. Exhale, palms together, heart center, sitting it back and down. Now, if that makes you feel uneasy, you don't have to bring heart center. You can just make sure that chair is there. So let's inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, option to widen out the arms, to reach back as you hinge back. Remember, we're hinging back those glutes, those knees. They're not surpassing my toes as I hinge from knees right above the ankles, and my glutes hinge back and I'm touching, making sure that chair is still there. All right, let's inhale forward. Option to exhale, widen out. Bring the arms down, start to hinge, keep that flat back. Bring yourself slowly to the chair. We're going to do this 3 more times. So hinge forward, back stays flat the whole time. Inhale, lengthen up. And exhale, release those arms. Hinge back, glutes hinge back, and we're releasing down into the chair. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Remember, it's nice and slow. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, nice and slow as we start to sit back and down. All right, from there, we're gonna bring hands to knees, and we are gonna do the other one that we usually do. So let's find us sitting all the way back in the chair again. Find knee to ankle alignment, those toes point straight forward. Take a nice, excuse me, take a nice deep breath here. And let's exhale, hinge forward, let the heart lead, hinging at the hips. Press into the palms, inhale, press into the heels and lift those glutes. And now we're just barely hinging up here. I'm holding this posture, taking nice deep breaths. I'm gonna lengthen through my neck by looking down. I am also checking my knees and my ankles and my toes. Let's go ahead and release all the way back down. Those quads might be really tight now. So let's inhale, lengthen all the way through the torso, lengthen those legs, toes up towards the ceiling. And keep the toes up towards the ceiling and the legs extended. Let's exhale into staff pose by bringing those arms sweeping slowly all the way down. Point those fingers down now towards the floor, extending the arms as we roll the shoulders back, down, extend, draw tension all the way through the fingertips as we draw tension through the legs, toes pointing up. Find that gazing point that you feel lengthens through the neck, and focus on our breath and our staff pose as we have 3 more breaths. And let's exhale and release that. Feels so good. All right, coming slightly forward. Let's bring hands to knees again. Let's inhale, lengthen all the way up. Exhale, we're gonna come into forward fold. Inhale, widen those arms and lengthen all the way up. Try and keep a flat back as we lengthen up and over again. Exhale, palms together, hands to heart. As we have hands at heart, let's twist and open to one side. So let's try and keep forehead, so third eye, nose, chin, right above our fingertips, thumbs plug right into the heart center. So when we twist, we're keeping that alignment. So we're not necessarily looking all the way over or my hands aren't way over here. We're trying to keep heart center twist here. So I don't go very far. And then we're going to inhale back to center. Let's keep that center right here. Exhale, twist. Keep the feet nice and grounded. We're pressing into the soles of the feet so those legs are activated. Let's inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center, and exhale, twist. Inhaling, center. Let's go ahead and exhale and release the arms. Now where we have this, we're going to add a little bit of inner thigh work. Let's go ahead and take that block or ball, squeeze those inner thighs for a moment. Strengthening that pelvic floor. So here we're just finding our posture again, rolling those shoulders back, we're lengthening, we're drawing all that energy now inward. By squeezing those inner thighs, we're already moving that energy inward and drawing all the way up so it moves, lifting that pelvic floor, and it moves all the way through the spine. Imagine that line coming up all the way through the crown of the head, reaching the ceiling here. Nice deep breaths. And let's add a twist. Exhale, lateral. So our hands are laterally on our leg as we twist again. Today we're doing a lot of twists. Let's inhale. We're going to exhale and twist again. This time we're using a little bit of arm strength to help us twist. Twist always helps us wring out and detoxify our organs. So whenever we get a chance to twist, it is very good for the organs, for our inner body. So we're not just thinking about our appearance. Let's go ahead and release that ball. We are getting ready for Shavasana here. So let's start to find a nice, comfortable seat. And as we find a nice, comfortable seat, or maybe we're laying on the ground. If we're laying on the ground, make sure that we're comfortable as well. All right, finding that comfortable spot, finding that place where we can relax. We could dive a little bit deeper, allow the body to let go. As we've moved through the body, we've created a little bit of tension here and there, and then we've let go and we've released. So this is a time where we could relax the body. So let's move into relaxation, whether we're sitting, lying down, comfortably on a couch or a bed or the floor. We want to come back to our meditation, so we want to make sure that we're comfortable and at ease. So let's start to focus by closing the eyes and bring in and out the breath through the nose. And here we're only paying attention to our breath. We're able to start relaxing the shoulders, the neck, the face and the head relax. We start to sink into our position. We're relaxing through the arms, allowing that breath flow to expand and release through our heart, our chest, moving down through the rib cage, feeling the expansion and the release as we let go. Continuing to release all the way down through the mid-back, relaxing the mid-back. And then letting us release down through the pelvis, the low back, the sacrum. It relaxes, releases. And now the belly releases. As we inhale, we feel that expansion. And as we exhale, we just feel a fall or a relaxation, a release. We continue with this breath flow as we inhale and as we exhale. We allow that flow to move down through the hips into the upper legs. And then we start to relax the knees, the joints, as we start to move down through the lower legs. Allow the tension to just melt away with every exhale. Releasing through the ankles. Relaxing our feet. We're letting go through the soles of the feet, all the way through the toes. And as we deeply relax the body, we let go of any anxiety, tension, any thoughts, any negative thoughts especially, just allowing them to release, allowing those thoughts to let go. And as we start to focus and come to a still mind, today our focus is the world is my mirror. We explore the mirror of relationship. This is the idea that all our relationships are a reflection of ourselves. The qualities and traits we react strongly, and others reveal the traits and qualities in us that need further understanding and balancing. The people we are attracted to are those who have traits we have, only more so. We enjoy their company because we subconsciously feel that being with them will help us to cultivate and manifest those traits even more in our lives. In the same way that we are repelled by people who reflect back to us the traits that are difficult for us to face in ourselves. The mirror of relationship is a valuable tool that we can use to see ourselves more clearly and to expand our awareness. As we become willing to embrace the light and shadow that we all possess, we bring love and healing to ourselves and our relationships. And just take a moment and think of something you would like to release today. It can be a physical thing, it can be an emotional thing, or it can be a psychological limitation, a belief that you might have told yourself. Take a moment to ponder that. And as we ponder that thought, that limitation that we might have, we're going to thank it for the things that it did give us. Maybe it protected us for at that moment. Maybe it was something that meant something valuable to us at the time. And this is that moment that we can let it go, that we thank it and we release it. We let it go. And we allow a smile to come back to our face as we have happy thoughts, even about letting go that belief, that limitation, that item or thing that we feel we need to let go of. We let it go with joy, with happiness. We're not angry at it. We're not frustrated at it. We simply thank it and we let it go. Take a few more moments just to breathe in and breathe out, focusing back on the breath. As we feel abundant, happy, and joyful, we want to bring that happy, joyful breath into our heart, into our body, and into our mind. And now that we feel abundant, happy, joyful, we can start to bring movement back. We can bring breath back through the fingers, the toes, our arms and legs as we bring movement back to the body. And as we bring movement back, maybe stretching the arms, the hands, the fingers, the toes, the legs, taking a moment to have a stretch. And maybe there's something I missed today that you need a little bit more of. Maybe it's the head or the neck or the arms extending back so that we can open the heart a little bit more. Whatever it is, you can take that moment to do it. And then we'll move to our side in fetal position. If you're lying on a couch floor or the bed, you can move to one side. In fetal position, you're just on the side and you're drawing those knees in towards the chest or towards the body if it feels good. And then when you're ready, you can press down through the hands and use arm strength to press away from the floor. If we're sitting, we can just reopen the eyes. Thank you for coming today. Remember that we have Monday and Wednesday at 2 p.m. and Friday at 1 p.m. And I see a lot of you got on. So hello, Felicia. Glad to have you today. Hello, Bonnie. It's good to see you today. And John, thank you for coming. We have Deborah and we have Becky Johnson. Thank you for coming today. I appreciate it. And for a little more trivia, let's see if I did it all. It looks like I did. So the 3 things the body loses with age, I did this in the beginning, just in case you missed it, was 1 was our posture, 2 was our pelvic mobility, and 3 was our muscle strength. So this is why we do yoga, to keep up our mobility, our strength, our posture. We always want to check in with our posture. So if you find yourself rounding during the day, those shoulders rounding forward, let's just roll the shoulders back. Just do a few shoulder rolls back. And if you find yourself really aching in the back, maybe those cat-cows will help. And even standing, hula hooping type motion helps the hips loosen. So those are just things that we can do during the day when we find ourselves doing things. Even maybe taking a moment while we spend 2 minutes brushing our teeth. If we have a wall that we can lean against and start to come down into that chair pose. It doesn't have to be very far, but it engages those inner thighs and our legs. And that's also a great deal of posture right there, is that keeps us moving inward and upward through the spine. So thank you for joining me today. We'll see you Monday at 2 p.m.